Hello students. Now we are going to start the topic Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan was son of Jahangir. His period started from AD 1627 to AD 1658. Jahangir was having sons, so there was a war of succession among the sons for the throne. In AD 1628, Prince Khurram, means Shah Jahan, he was ascended the throne. He was given the title Shah Jahan, means the ruler of the world. Earlier his name was not Shah Jahan, it was Prince Khurram, and there was war between this among the sons of Jahangir that who will be ascended the throne. In 1628, the Jahangir throne was ascended to Shah Jahan. He was given title Shah Jahan, the ruler of the world. Now in AD 1628, Jhujjar Singh, he was a Bundela chief. He wanted to do a revolt in Bundelkhand. This Jhujjar Singh, a Bundel chief, rose a revolt in the Bundelkhand. Later on, he was defeated by Shah Jahan and killed. Afghan noble Khane Jahan Lodi. This Khane Jahan Lodi was Subedar of Deccan. The word Subedar generally means the governor or the ruler of that state. So Khane Jahan Lodi was Subedar, means governor of the Deccan. Later on, he was also killed and defeated. Three states were there: Ahmednagar, Bijapur and Golconda. Now Shah Jahan want to conquer these three places. He defeated the Bundels. Okay, Orcha is a place which was seized. He appointed Aurangzeb as the Subedar of Deccan. His son was Aurangzeb. He was appointed as the governor of the Deccan now. What happened? The Ahmad Bija and Golconda, he want to control these three places. Ahmednagar was conquered in AD 1632. It was now controlled by Shah Jahan. In AD 1632, it was conquered. But Bijapur and Golconda, they agreed to pay the annual tribute to the king. Okay, they will pay the annual tribute as an amount of subsidy to the king. Now Northwest policy. Now Shah Jahan want to reconquer the territories in the Central Asia. Now he want to reconquer those territories in the Central Asia. Now he wanted to capture, this is his wants, he wanted to capture Balkh and Badakhshan. Okay, it was his dream, means he also wanted to capture, it was enabling him to invade Samarkand, where what was the home of the ancestor Taimur. So here the Shah Jahan wanted to capture Balkh and Badakhshan. It enabled him to invade Samarkand, which was home of the ancestor Taimur. He wanted to capture Kandhar. Earlier the spelling which was with K, now it is with Q. So they wanted to capture Kandhar. So he sent an expedition. He sent Aurangzeb on a journey to Kandhar, where already Persian was ruling. So Persian rule was going on. So now Shah Jahan wanted to capture Kandhar. Where Persians were there with the artilleries. Artilleries means advanced weapons they were having. Okay, advanced weapons they were having. So Persians were having artilleries. So Aurangzeb was defeated. These both expeditions failed. Kandhar expedition and Balkh expedition failed. He cannot get control of these two places. If I talk about Samarkand, he didn't went to Samarkand because the place is there, mountains are there and hostile climatic conditions are there. So he didn't want to capture Samarkand. Okay, because he gave up this due to the mountainous region and the hostile climatic conditions. This was about his northwest policies. Now I am telling his relation with the European traders. He got to know that Portuguese are collecting the taxes from Indian traders. He got to know this thing that the Portuguese are extracting the duties from the Indian traders. He got very angry. Now what he did, he defeated the Portuguese and seized Hooghly. Hooghly is a river. He seized Hooghly and defeated the Portuguese. Now he is making the trade on his own terms with the Portuguese. Now he was doing the trade on his own terms with the Portuguese. In 1657, 1658, the Shah Jahan's sons, they were having conflict with each other. Okay, there was conflict between them where Aurangzeb won and other sons, including the Dara Shikohi, other three sons, were killed. Even Shah Jahan was imprisoned in the Agra fort. In the Agra fort, Shah Jahan was imprisoned and there only he died. Okay, so Shah Jahan's son, there was a conflict between the son where Aurangzeb won and others were killed. Shah Jahan was sent to jail, means he was imprisoned in the Agra fort where he died. So this was all about Shah Jahan. Now students, we are going to start the topic Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb was the last Mughal ruler. He died in 1707. He ruled for 50 years. At the time of Aurangzeb, he witnessed many revolts. He increased the tax on land to the half of whatever the farmers were producing. The tax on the land was increased to half. Okay. So Jats and peasants of Agra and Mathura, they were not agreeing with him. When he increased the taxes, the Jats peasants of Agra and Mathura, they rebelled against him due to increase in tax. When Jats and peasants rebelled against him due to high land tax, the Satnamis and the Bundels also revolted against Aurangzeb. The Satnamis and the Bundels also did a revolt against Aurangzeb. Now I'll tell you Aurangzeb's relation with Rajputs, with Sikh and with Marathas. If I talk about Rajputs, Aurangzeb failed to realize the importance of the Rajput in the Mughal Empire. Okay, because they were befriends with the Akbar. After the death of the Raja Jai Singh of Amber and Raja Jaswant Singh of Marwar, Rajputs began to deteriorate. When these two rulers of Amber and Marwar died, I am telling you the names, Raja Jai Singh of Amber and Raja Jaswant Singh of Marwar, when they both died, their started Rajput declining. Rajput dynasty started declining. Okay, Rajputs began to deteriorate. Because of the orthodox religion policy, the Rajputs were not having good relationships. Because of the orthodox thinking of the people, they were turned into the enemies, or means Mughal enemies. Mughal were interfering in their internal matters. Okay, so Rathors of Marwar rebelled against them. That why you are interfering in our internal matters of the state. So this started a revolt. So Rajput, I simply told you that Rajput Raja Jai Singh of Amber and Raja Jaswant Singh of Marwar, these two Rajput kings, when they died, the Rajputs started deteriorating. Why? Because of the orthodox thinking of the people, orthodox religion, the Rajputs turned into bitter enemies. Mughal were interfering in the matters of the Rajputs. Okay, the Marwar king, Rathors of Marwar. So they also rebelled against Aurangzeb. Now if I talk about Sikh, the relation were strained. Guru Arjan Dev was executed by Jahangir for helping Prince Khusrau. Guru Arjan Dev, he helped Prince Khusrau. So Jahangir executed him, Guru Arjan Dev, for helping Khusrau. Then 10th Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur, protested against the emperor. He was arrested. this Guru Tegh Bahadur, he was arrested and he brought to Delhi. He was given two choices. Guru Tegh Bahadur, 10th Guru, that either you die, either you change your religion. He refused to convert his religion. His martyrdom, when he died, it forced the Sikh to take the revenge of his death. The 10th Guru died, Guru Tegh Bahadur, because he was protesting against the emperor. Whatever the policies they were making, he was not happy, so he protested against them. So he was arrested and brought to Delhi. He was given two choices, either the death or either conversion of your religion. So he preferred death. He said, I will not convert my religion. So when he died, the Sikh want to take revenge of his death. Guru Gobind Singh, he organized Sikh into Khalsa, that is a militant force. At that time, a militant force was being made by Guru Gobind Singh, that is known as Khalsa. There were violent conflicts between the Khalsa and the Mughals. Now the Khalsa and the Mughals, there is conflict between these two. After the Aurangzeb died, the Sikh empire started. They were able to establish their own empire. Marathas, third were the Marathas. Shivaji was a Maratha. So Aurangzeb was not satisfied that this Maratha is getting more powerful than Aurangzeb. So Shastya Khan was sent by Aurangzeb to fight against Shivaji. Shastya Khan was sent to fight against Shivaji. Aurangzeb sent him. So Shivaji was disguised as a marriage party with 400 soldiers. He stormed into the campaign and everybody was surprised that from where Shivaji came. Shastya Khan managed to escape from there. His army was defeated by Shivaji. Aurangzeb sent Raja Jai Singh to capture Shivaji. Now Aurangzeb means very ambitious ruler. When he want to attain something, he want. So now what happened here? Here the Shivaji, to defeat Shivaji, Aurangzeb sent Shastya Khan. Okay, so Shivaji with 400 soldiers, means Shivaji was disguised as a marriage party with 400 soldiers. He stormed into the campaign of Shastya Khan and he took everyone by surprise. Shastya Khan managed to escape. His army was defeated. Next, Aurangzeb sent Raja Jai Singh to capture Shivaji and bring him to Agra. The fort of Purandar was besieged. Means everywhere, sieged means everywhere the people of the Aurangzeb were there. Aurangzeb army was there. So he was not treated with honor and was about to leave the court when he was arrested. So Shivaji was captured. He was not treated with honor over there. He left the court when he was arrested. He was put into the prison, but he managed to escape in the baskets of fruits. So Aurangzeb failed to recapture Shivaji again. So Shivaji Maratha he cannot capture. He put him into jail also, but he escaped in a fruit basket. Somehow he managed to escape in a fruit basket and Aurangzeb failed to recapture Shivaji again. Now the campaign against Deccan Sultanates. Aurangzeb sent his army against the Deccan Sultanates. Okay, these are the places which was recaptured. So now the Bijapur was annexed in 1686, Golconda in 1687. Now he again campaigned against Marathas. He managed to do a campaign against the Marathas in the Deccan, who started a guerrilla warfare in 1698. The Ahoms were also defeated in 1663, but they again rebelled against Aurangzeb in 1680. I am talking about the northeastern part. When the Aurangzeb died, 1707 he died, the Mughal Empire disintegration started after the death of the Aurangzeb. Because he was doing campaign again and again to some places, he want to capture that place, so it emptied the royal treasure. Okay, the royal treasure was emptied because again and again he was doing campaign somewhere. Many revolts against him happened. he did a growth in trade and commerce. Okay, there was emergence in the new groups in the Deccan. The group showed the loyalty towards the regional powers. Aurangzeb was a Sunni Muslim ruler. He lived a very simple life. He was popularly known as Zinda Peer, means living saint. So he imposed jazia. Jazia was a tax. It was a poll tax. It was reimposed by Aurangzeb. The non-Muslims had to pay this jazia tax. Because of the policies of the Aurangzeb, his empire declined because of his policies. And later on, he died in 1707. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.